and welcome to I Reckon I'll Read It, the podcast where two Okie gals talk books, share recs, and don't hold back on their mighty big opinions. I'm Beccah.
And I'm Summer. We're so glad you're here. Go ahead and grab some sweet tea, get cozy, and get ready for some good old-fashioned book talk.
We've got a whole heap of books to talk about, and we reckon you're going to want to stick around.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 2 of I Reckon I'll Read It. We did it. Well, we're doing it. If you are hearing it right now, we did it.
That's right.
Okay, so something that we're going to do now that it is episode 2, you know us a little bit if you listened to episode 1. If not, go back and give that a listen. You'll get to learn a little bit more about us as readers. But for episode 2, we're going to start a segment called Spur of the Moment Questions. And Beccah, I have a Spur of the Moment question for you.
So scared.
Are you ready?
Yes.
So episode 1 was our podcast's first rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been in a rodeo?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
I have too.
We grew up in Oklahoma.
Have you been in multiple rodeos?
Yes.
Okay, wait.
Oh, wait. Have I been in a rodeo or have I been to a rodeo?
Been in a rodeo.
Oh, no. I've not been in a rodeo.
Oh, I have.
Oh, what did you do?
So I did nothing in preparation for this. So all of my family is from Kingfisher, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I have some real ranchy people in my family, some real agricultural people in my family.
That's why she loves those cowboy romances.
You know it is. You know it is. I'm looking for my cowboy. So I don't know how this happened.
Mm-hmm.
I have hardly any recollection of it, just that it happened. But we showed up to the rodeo in Kingfisher one night, and I rode one of my family members' horses that was pre-trained. So I didn't have to do anything. I just sat on there and I held the reins. I don't even know if I held the reins. I might have just held the pommel of the saddle, and the horse did all the work.
How old were you?
Under 10.
Okay.
I don't remember when this was, but guess what, Beccah?
What?
I won $1 in one of the rodeo.
Did you frame it?
No. I don't even know if it went home with
Did
me.
it really
It probably
count?
went home in the pocket of my parents.
Mm.
It was in a...
No, you probably bought something at the rodeo with it.
Oh, probably. It was in an event called the bow tie,
Okay.
which was like the formation of the barrels and how it went around. But I have been in a rodeo, and I won $1.
That's really cute. So I have been to multiple rodeos.
Yeah.
I feel like there might have been a time in my past where, like sometimes they let all the kids come out and run around and
Yeah.
chase the sheep or whatever it
Run
is.
in the dirt.
I feel like I've probably done that, but I don't really think that counts. But here's the funny part about Beccah at a rodeo. She's highly allergic to animals.
What?
And so I would go to the rodeo in high school with my friends because I wanted to go to the rodeo and be cool with my friends. And there was a cute boy that I definitely wanted to go with. And every time I went, my eyes would swell shut. And I would be I'd be rubbing them. And I couldn't see, and I'd be sneezing and just couldn't breathe. And so my parents would have to come get me early almost every time I went. And then I just quit going to them because it was miserable.
How often did you repeat this?
Okay, I'm being really dramatic, twice.
Okay, that's a little bit better than multiple times. But
Yeah.
you did do it twice.
But I probably still went to more rodeos than that, but more just to go pick somebody up and go watch a couple things and then leave. But
that
if
is
I
so funny.
yeah,
You looked real cute for your crush.
I didn't. I still have a picture of that somewhere.
I would love to see that.
Okay.
I
I'll find it.
definitely also have a picture of me. I don't know if it was from the rodeo day, but there's a picture of me in a cowgirl hat and a little pearl snap shirt, Western wear. I'll have to look that up too.
Maybe if eventually we have a podcast website, we can add those pictures to it so you guys can see them.
We can definitely throw those on our Instagram. Well, scintillating conversation. So it's not our first rodeo anymore. It's our second episode
It's
anyways.
not. And we've also been to real rodeos, so.
We have. Oh, Oklahoma. Okay. So this is our second episode, and we're about to jump into our favorite segment, our Reading Roundup. And
Yes.
this is a segment where we'll talk about what we've just read, what we're currently reading, and what's up next in our TBR pile. So, Beccah, what have you just finished reading recently?
Okay, so the book I just read, it took me a little bit. This was one that was like, I was reading multiple books at once, and it took me a little bit. But I actually read this book because of you.
Because of me.
Yes. Braiding Sweetgrass.
It's
It's like Summer's like one of her favorite books.
It's one of my heart books.
It is. It is. It's a book that she marked up a lot.
Yeah. One that I actually annotated.
Mm-hmm. So if you have not heard of Braiding Sweetgrass, it is nonfiction. It's kind of like essay-like / memoir. So let me read the blurb.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you my thoughts and my
I'll
feelings.
try not to cry.
I know. You know I'm going to be terrible at trying to say her last name, but okay. Okay, so it was written by Robin Wall Kimmerer.
Mhm.
Okay, I got it. The ERER throws me a little bit. Okay. As a botanist, Robin Wall Kimmerer has been trained to ask questions of nature with the tools of science. As a member of the citizen Potawatomi Nation, she embraces the notion that plants and animals are our oldest teachers. In Braiding Sweetgrass, she brings these lenses of knowledge together to show that the awakening of a wider ecological consciousness requires the acknowledgement and celebration of our reciprocal relationship with the rest of the living world. For only when we can hear the languages of other beings are we capable of understanding the generosity of the earth and learning to give our own gifts in return. Okay, so I will say this book is not for everybody. It is very, like, the little subtitle of the book is Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teaching of Plants. So it does read very sciencey, very like indigenous culture, like folklore, and very scientific. But what I think is interesting about it, because I'm not a huge nonfiction person, it was not intimidating to me. I expected to be intimidated by it, to be honest. The indigenous wisdom part was not that intimidating to me, and that could be that I had like a little leg up kind of growing up in Oklahoma. So a lot of that was just like, I grew up in like a really small town that was like in the heart of Cherokee Nation.
Mm-hmm.
So like growing up with that culture,
You're sort of familiar.
very familiar. So like a lot. Now I wasn't super familiar with like the Potawatomi,
Sure.
like specific aspects, but that part was very like normal to me, which I'm sure for some people is like, whoa, like this is really different. I was really scared of like the botany part and the sciencey part of it, to be honest. But she does it so beautifully that like you feel like you're reading her stories, because she writes it so memoir like that you get lost in her stories, and she weaves in
Braiding.
yeah. She weaves in like these like botany like descriptions or whatever. Don't think that's how you say that, but it's so beautiful. Okay, tell people why you love it, because I know you're just like so antsy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was also not intimidated by it, probably again because of familiarity with some indigenous ideology and thinking and teaching. But I think what really spoke to me, well, I mean, it totally reframed my mindset in a lot of ways, of the ways that I engage with the natural world. But one aspect that I especially loved was kind of like the comparison of like academia brain versus her like indigenous culture. And there are a couple different essays in this story that I think about all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is one of those books where I was listening to the audiobook because it's narrated by the author. And
it's very good.
Yeah. As I was listening to it, I drove to the bookstore to buy a copy because I knew I needed to mark it up and highlight the ones that were important to me. And but especially that like academia in contrast to, and then later in like integration with the cultural heritage is so powerful.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh my gosh. This is a book, I know you said it won't be for everyone. I would challenge anyone to try it though, because it is so, I mean, just perspective changing to me.
I will say there's like a lot of challenging parts of the book in general, as far as some of the ways she's approaching stories from her like life's perspective,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. That like a very complicated past with America and the Native American people
Mm-hmm.
that I know that there's actually been places that have banned this book.
Yeah. She doesn't pull
Because-
punches.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
She's not saying anything that's not true.
Yeah. She's talking about it as it is. And that could
Yeah, and some people don't like it.
push buttons.
So there can be like if those things are like a little sensitive to you, like just kind of know that going in because her family was deeply affected
yes.
by like the treatment of Indigenous like families, like
Yeah.
being torn apart. And so she definitely confronts it. It never was like hard for me to read, but I know that can be hard
Yeah.
for people. So there's like a few things like that I'm like, it's not like triggering type things. There's like little warnings I give with it.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess if you haven't gone through a journey of
mhm.
self-reflection of any of those more like social justice topics,
Mhm.
it could be a tougher read
Yeah.
initially.
I think it will challenge you.
Yeah.
If you're not from, like, if you haven't read a lot like
a
that.
perspective that you're probably not familiar with.
Mhm.
But
And especially if you're not, like, into, like, Indigenous, like, folklore and storytelling, too. So, anyways, but it's a great
love
one.
it. I have read that one.
You have.
And I reckon anyone should read it. I'm so glad you brought that book.
Yes. Yeah. So I've been working on that one for a while.
Yeah.
It was the scenario where I got the audiobook and then ran out on Libby.
Mm-hmm.
Because I read nonfiction way slower. So I don't want to admit how long I was reading this book, but I
Well,
finally finished it.
It's one that you can also like sit with and reflect. It's
Yeah.
not really one to breeze through.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I don't think you should. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't mad with how long it took me. Like, I never thought, like, oh man, like, I'm so annoyed that this is taking me so long, which sometimes I feel that way about
Mhm.
books. But, because they're essay like, they're all standalone.
Yeah.
So it felt like I was still completing something the whole time, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. So, okay. What did you just finish?
Okay. So recently I finished. I have, Beccah. I have a book to gush about. Okay. I think I've told you about this one.
Probably.
Have I talked to you about The Correspondent?
Yes. Letters, right?
Letters.
Okay. You know what Summer loves?
An epistolary novel.
If you aren't sure what that is, you can tell.
Okay, so epistolary is a style of writing where it's
Mhm.
like people sending letters back and forth. So the whole format of this book, this is The Correspondent by Virginia Evans, and it is set in letters of different formats. There's like actual handwritten letters and then emails.
Mm-hmm.
So that's considered epistolary. I love an epistolary novel.
You do.
We mentioned in the last episode the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Society,
So good.
another epistolary novel.
An old throwback, but what was the book about? Like Bernadette? That wasn't a.
Where'd you go, Bernadette?
Where did you go, Bernadette?
Was that one epistolary?
I would say like more than half
Really?
is like her emails and
Oh, so it was like mixed media, maybe?
yeah.
Okay.
But
I never read that.
It's actually kind of fun, but
Yeah.
it feels very epistolary. Like I think
Yeah.
you'd like it actually.
That makes me want to read it because
reckon I'll read it.
I do love that.
Mhm.
Okay, so The Correspondent. Here's the blurb on Goodreads. Throughout her life, Sybil Van Antwerp has used letters to make sense of the world and her place in it. Most mornings around 10:30, Sybil sits down to write letters to her brother, to her best friend, to the president of the university who will not allow her to audit a class she desperately wants to take, to Joan Didion and Larry McMurtry to tell them what she thinks of their latest books, and to one person to whom she often writes, yet never sends the letter.
Ooh,
Sybil expects her
that
world.
was it. I'm drawn in.
Uh-huh. Sybil expects her world to go on as it always has. A mother, grandmother, wife, divorcee, distinguished lawyer. She has lived a full life.
Oh, wait, she's not a young.
No, I think she's around 75.
Ooh, okay. All
Yes.
right, okay.
I love an older protagonist.
I do too.
Okay, here we go. But when letters from someone in her past force her to examine one of the most painful periods of her life, she realizes that the letter she has been writing over the years needs to be read and that she cannot move forward until she finds it in her heart to offer forgiveness.
Oh my god.
So, like that setup
I
sounded,
wish you would have brought the hard copy of this because I would have taken it from you tonight.
I will get it to you. So this is another one that I purchased the hardback book And then I also listened to the audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, Beccah. This is one of the best audiobooks I've ever listened to.
Really? Is it dual voices
It's
too?
full cast.
Oh,
Full cast
but not like
narration.
cheesy music in the background.
No.
Okay.
No, it's like each person reading their letter.
Okay.
And so like that makes it especially personal.
Mhm.
Like, so, I mean, that blurb sounds great. I had heard good things about this book, which is why I picked it up. But it just becomes so personal. Like you get to know all of these voices, all of the people. So I do recommend the audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
But the hardback, the physical copy as well is really cool to look. It does have that thing where there's emails being sent. So at times it's like subject,
No, I mean, yeah.
So in an audiobook that bothers some people.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of weird.
But it's just so lovely. And I came to love these characters so much. So Sybil is the main character, and the woman that reads her voice sounded like Julie Andrews.
Ooh.
That was another little like layer of like, oh, but so I finished this audiobook because I had started the physical, finished the audiobook while I was on a long distance run. And I don't know if I told you this.
You didn't.
Okay, so I was running around Lake Hefner in Oklahoma City and listening to for about 2 hours, listening to the audiobook of this book, and was so invested. This has never happened to me before in my life, but Beccah, at one point, I burst into sobs.
While running.
While running, I had to put my hand on my chest and went, and just cried. And I had to like look around like, oh no, can anyone see me?
Could you imagine what people thought you were going through?
Right. Like, they were like, oh, this girl's really emotional about running.
She's really struggling. Should I pull over and help her?
Thankfully, there was no one around because it took me a minute to compose myself. But it wasn't even out of like sadness from like a plot point. It was just like I had so much love for these characters.
Yeah, no, I get that.
That as they shared things, I felt so deeply for them. And so I composed myself, kept running. And as I kept running, every now and then would be like, oh. There would be little things here or there. So this book was amazing. It was so good. And yes, the epistolary of it all, but also just the characters and then the audiobook narration, every part
when
of
was it written?
It just released. It just released in April of 2025. So it's like every piece of it was perfect for me as a reader. And I anticipate this will be one of my top books of the year. Like, if not one of my top books of the last several years.
Okay.
So good.
Okay, well, I reckon I'll read it. For
sure.
Okay,
I'll bring you my copy.
I do feel like I have to tell you really quick. Side note. So, Johnny, who's my husband, just got me a subscription. He did not tell me. It just showed up in the mail. And it's a like serial story that happens for a whole year through letters.
What?
And it's called The Magnolia Letters. I had to like look it up really
Is it
quick.
like a mystery you solve? Or you just
I don't know.
get the
I've
letters?
only got one. So I got my envelope and it had a letter from this guy to his sister, asking her to come home to help him. It's like kind of like Phil's Regency time period.
Okay.
He wants to get with this woman. I don't know. And he like asked her to come home to kind of like be a chaperone
His
kind of
sister?
thing. Not with her, but he wants her to come be like a second person at the house.
Okay.
To invite the girl. Okay, maybe I should clarify. Sorry. Yeah, plot twist. Very modern.
That kind of book.
No. You would love it.
Okay. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, you get 2 a month. Every 2 weeks, I'll get a new set of letters.
Okay, I need to look into that.
And you get like a letter and a postcard and like.
Do the Magnolia Letters need to sponsor us?
I know, right?
Sponsor us. We'll talk about your products even more. Every episode. Okay, so that is what
I could update everybody, but I'd be spoiling it and I'd be like, no, we can't.
They definitely would not sponsor us then.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so that is what I just finished. Beccah, what are you currently reading?
Okay, so another one that I feel like is going to take me a little bit to get through.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm loving it. I am currently reading Babel.
Ooh.
And you know what? I don't think Oh, I did. Okay, I put it on my Goodreads. I was like, did I put that as currently reading it?
You're not invested enough yet to let other people know.
I am. I love it. So as
Babel by R.F. Kuang.
yes. Sorry. Yes, I keep forgetting to say the author. I'm sorry. This is why we have Summer here. Also, really quick, if any of you guys have listened to the audiobook, I've had this conversation with Summer. They say Babel in the audiobook. And I don't know if that's how like she wants it said or if it's just because they're British. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like every American person I've ever heard refer to this book has said Babel.
See, that's what I thought too. And so I've been like really confused with the Babel pronunciation.
Yeah.
And so I was like, have I been saying it wrong the whole time? I don't know, but that's just a side note. Okay, so let me read you the blurb. From award-winning author R.F. Kuang comes Babel. A historical fantasy epic that grapples with student revolutions, colonial resistance, and the use of language and translation as the dominating tool of the British Empire. Traductor, an act of translation. I could be, let's get our language person.
Oh, that looks like it's Italian. Traduttore? I don't know.
Traduttore, okay.
In Spanish, it's traductor.
Also, side note about Summer. She speaks Spanish fluently. Of course she does. Anyways, however you say it, it's an act of translation. An act of translation is always an act of betrayal. 1828, Robin Swift, orphaned by Gloria and Canton, is brought to London by the mysterious Professor Lavelle. There, he trains for years in Latin, ancient Greek, and Chinese, all in preparation for the day he'll enroll in Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. The tower and its students are the world's center for translation and, more importantly, magic. Silver working, the art of manifesting the meaning lost in translation using enchanted silver bars, has made the British unparalleled in power, as the arcane craft serves the empire's quest for colonialization. For Robin, Oxford is a utopia dedicated to the purest of knowledge, but knowledge obeys power, and as a Chinese boy raised in Britain, Robin realizes serving Babel means betraying his motherland. As his studies progress, Robin finds himself caught between Babel and the shadowy Hermes Society, an organization dedicated to stopping imperial expansion. When Britain pursues an unjust war, the China over silver and opium, Robin must decide. Can powerful institutions be changed from within, or does revolution always require violence?
Wow, that is quite the blurb.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot there.
I am literally on like chapter 7, and that doesn't sound that impressive, but these chapters are really long.
Okay.
It really doesn't. Like, it is so long. Like, I've been listening to this book for hours, and I'm still like on chapter 7. Because I've been audio booking this one, which I've kind of liked because, as you guys can tell from my hick background, sometimes, French and Italian and Chinese don't come natural to me. And so it's been really nice to hear like them say things.
Yeah. Love an accent.
Yes, with the accent and all the things. So it's a really good book. Because I will be honest, it's kind of intimidating. It's a lot of linguistics. It's a lot of like academic literature talk, if that makes sense. And so it's very smart. I don't know if that, it's a very smart book.
And it's like a chunker.
Oh, it's huge. Let's see how many pages it is. It says it's only 544. I do not believe that. It looks huge.
Maybe it's the edition.
Maybe. I know the audiobook's like 22 hours.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. 500 pages. That does not sound right. It's really good so far. I love it. As somebody who has obviously studied English, and you as somebody who is has a linguistics background, I think that you would really, really like it.
Okay. So what was the phrase in the blurb? Every translation is an act of colonialism? Where'd it go? It was early on.
No, it was that definition of that traduttore. An act of translation is always an act of betrayal.
Act of betrayal.
So there's a lot of this, Britain is trying to basically collect all the languages of the world through translation and kind of become like this powerhouse for language. But if you have any like religious background, you're probably like, oh, does it have anything to do with the Tower of Babel? That is kind of like the idea, is that at one point there was this like universal language. If you don't know the biblical story, it's that everyone spoke the same language. They were building a tower to get to God, and God like separated their language.
So they couldn't communicate with each other.
Yeah. In a way of protection, kind of in the biblical story. But they don't necessarily think they can get back to the universal language. But they do think that like the magic system is still very confusing to me. I don't get the whole silver working thing yet. I'm very confused by it.
Yeah, that's something that I feel like I've never heard in the setup before.
And I am just as confused from that blurb still, 7 chapters in. But let me read that part. Enchanted silver bars, they use them to manifest the meaning lost in translation. So it's like basically saying that like translation is never fully accurate. And so there's like this meaning lost, and whatever they take from that somehow powers these bars.
That's like the fantasy part of it. That's
interesting. I don't know. So I'm still confused on that.
I am very intrigued by this, very much so, because that does get into a lot of the like identity of different cultures and the language. And if they're being forced to assimilate to one language, there's a lot there that I would like to dig into.
And there's a ton of like how they're treated because they're not British, but like they're accepted there because they're needed for their native tongues. Like I don't know. It's interesting.
I reckon I'll read it. Okay. So what I am currently reading is a book I know you have already read.
Yes. Did I like it?
Yes, you loved it.
Okay.
It is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry.
I did love it. Some people hated it.
Okay, so this is another one that I feel like I've heard enough people be disappointed by that I've waited to read. And
don't listen to people.
I really think it was you saying you loved it that kind of like moved it up in my brain of like, okay, I think I can read this now.
Yeah.
I am a huge Emily Henry super fan. I've loved all of her books, some more than others, but like have loved all of her books. And every book every year that comes out, it's like a big thing. I buy it on release day, and most of the time I will immediately start reading it. I think with Funny Story too, I was a little like protective of it. I was like, what if I don't love it? And then I did love it.
Yeah.
So all of that to say, I didn't know how to feel going into this one. And let me set it up before I talk anymore. 2 writers compete for the chance to tell the larger-than-life story of a woman with more than a couple of plot twists up her sleeve in this dazzling and sweeping new novel from Emily Henry. Alice Scott is an eternal optimist, still dreaming of her big writing break. Hayden Anderson is a Pulitzer Prize-winning human thundercloud. And they're both on balmy little Crescent Island for the same reason, to write the biography of a woman no one has seen in years, or at least to meet with the octogenarian who claims to be the Margaret Ives. That's an interesting... Is that a twist? I haven't gotten to that part if that's a twist. Okay. This is in the setup. I hope it's not a spoiler. Okay.
I shrugged my shoulders for, you know.
Okay, continuing. Tragic heiress, former tabloid princess, and daughter of one of the most storied and scandalous families of the 20th century. When Margaret invites them both for a 1-month trial period, after which she'll choose the person who will tell her story, there are 3 things keeping Alice's head in the game. 1, Alice genuinely likes people, which means people usually like Alice, and she has a whole month to win the legendary woman over. 2, she's ready for the job and the chance to impress her perennially unimpressed family with a serious publication. 3, Hayden Anderson, who should have no reason to be concerned about losing this book, is glowering at her in a shaken to the core way that suggests he sees her as competition. I'm like getting giddy.
You should.
But the problem is Margaret is only giving each of them pieces of her story, pieces they can't swap to put together because of an ironclad NDA and an inconvenient yearning pulsing between them every time they're in the same room. And it's becoming abundantly clear that their story, just like the tale Margaret's spinning, could be a mystery, tragedy, or love ballad, depending on who's telling it. Okay, I don't know how I feel about having just read that blurb for the podcast, because I feel like that had a lot of late plot point things in it. Because I am like maybe 70% in, and several of those things have not happened yet. So, I mean, it is a romance. You know how it's going. But that's the thing about, I'm stumbling over my words because
She's so giddy.
I'm so giddy about this book. All that to say, I am loving it.
It's so good.
I'm loving it. I want to do nothing but read this book.
I will say, I don't think all of those things are like packed into the end and it feels like it was all rushed.
Yeah. I think I have about 100 pages left. And at this point, because we get Margaret's story and we get their love story. Yeah. And I'm like, how are we going to finish both of these with only 100 pages left? Like, I want more of both of them. Like, I would read a longer book about this already because it's so good. Emily Henry has a way of like characterizing the people in the stories with just like a single sentence. And you're like, wow, I could really picture this person.
Yeah.
And her banter is always good. And I thought going into this, it was going to be less of a love story and more of like a drama in the style of like a Evelyn Hugo, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And
it's like both.
It is. And I've been surprised by how much of a love story it is. Like it hits all the Emily Henry beats.
But it's not like her other love stories, which is why I think people have felt weird about it.
Yeah, it is a little bit more.
It's not as like tension filled. There's not like a ton of like angst or like, ooh, will they, won't they? I mean, it's there, but it's like balanced because they're the other story, like the parallel story that's happening is just as important and you love it too. Like it's so good.
I do. I want to get back to each of them like when it's their turn.
And so like she does such a good job of like making you care about both of them, but one doesn't really overshadow the other. So I think it's like just a beautiful love story. It's not like this like crazy slow burn type love story. It feels more real to me, and I think that's one reason I liked it so much.
I am loving it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm loving it. And I'm really so happy because I was worried Emily Henry was going to let me down. And I mean, like I said, I've loved some of her books more than others, and we'll see how this one wraps up.
It might be one of my favorites, to be honest. I think she feels elevated in this book. I have always loved her. And Beach Read will always be really important to me because like it really got me into contemporary literature because I was kind of a little snobby as like an English professor of like, I have to read classics, which I mean, I still do. Do not get me wrong. I will talk about many classics on this podcast, but she got me out of that a little bit. And so like, I will always like have a special place for her, but she feels like super elevated to me. This is like when an actor, like you love them and like all their comedies and their rom-coms, and then they get like a big movie.
This is like her Oscar winning.
Yes. I just feel like I already thought she was fantastic, but what she does in this, I think, is a little bit different level.
I could see this being a little bit more generally appealing to people that don't want just a contemporary romance.
It feels more general fiction to me. There is like just human life, love experience happening in it.
Yeah.
Which is, again, why I think some people didn't love it because they wanted the classic Emily Henry.
It was a little different, but I'm loving it.
I'm so glad.
Yes. I can't wait to finish it. I don't think I can finish it tonight, but I'm going to finish it soon.
I love that.
Okay. What do you have coming up on your TBR?
Okay. So another book I currently finished because the second in a book that I'm about to read. I did The Undertaking of Hart and Mercy. If you have not read it, it's really fun.
I've not read it.
You're going to love it because it's a retelling of You Got Mail.
Which I love.
Which we're going to have to go on a deep dive on all the You Got Mail. Do you love it? Do you hate it?
We should do that.
Yeah, that should be one of our
spotlight
segments because I think that's an interesting conversation.
And there's so many.
And I have some big opinions about it, okay? Okay, so I read The Undertaking of Hart and Mercy. Also, side note, my husband is a funeral director. So I love reading a good Undertaker story.
Which this one is written by?
Sorry, Megan Bannen. And we actually got to see her recently.
We got to see her speak.
And so I'm about to read the second one called The Undermining of Twyla and Frank.
Ooh.
And they are standalone with crossover characters. Okay. So I feel like if I read the blurb, I don't think it's going to have any spoilers from the first book. But if I see one coming, I'll kind of, All right. From the author of The Undertaking of Hart and Mercy comes a heartwarming fantasy with the best friends to lovers rom-com twist. When Harry met Sally, but with dragons. Set in the delightful demigod and donut-filled world of Tanria. The entire town of Eternity was shocked when widowed middle-aged Twyla Banneker partnered up with her neighbor and best friend Frank Ellis to join the Tanrian Marshals. 8 years later, Twyla and Frank are still patrolling the dangerous land of Tanria, the former prison of the old gods. Twyla might look like a small-town mom who brings cheesy potatoes to funerals and whips up a batch of cookies for the school bake sale. But her rewarding career in law enforcement has been welcome change from the domestic grind of mom life. Girl, do I know it. Just kidding. Despite the misgivings of her grown children, fortunately or unfortunately, a recent decrease in on-the-job peril has made Twyla and Frank's job a lot safer and a lot less exciting. So when they discover the body of one of their fellow marshals covered in liquid glitter, and Frank finds himself the inadvertent foster dad to a baby dragon, it sounds just as wild as it is, and it's amazing. They are more than happy to be back on the beat. Soon, the friends wind up ensnared in a nefarious plot that goes far deeper than any lucrative Tanrian mine shaft. But as the danger closes in and Twyla and Frank's investigation becomes more complicated, so does their easy friendship. And Twyla starts to realize that her true soulmate might just be the person who has lived next door all along. That was a really long blurb, though. Whew.
It was, but also, I have not read these books. I went to this author talk, and things make so much more sense now.
Yes. Because it is a crazy world that feels very like American Midwestern is kind of how she like describes it, but also like with gods
And dragons.
and dragons. There are not dragons in the first book. So if you're just there for the dragons, sorry, you got to read the first book to get to the second book. I would definitely, they're standalone in the sense that like the first two main characters from the first book don't like, they're not a huge part in this one.
Yeah.
But there are some characters
That carry over.
that carry over. So you do need to read them in order.
Do you think the first book sets the world up? Like, would you be able to grab the second book and still be introduced to the world in a... Well, I guess you haven't read the second book. So
I
you don't
haven't,
know.
but I almost think no.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like why the gods aren't active anymore in the first book. If
Okay,
that
so
makes
you
sense.
probably do need to read them in order.
And they might recap it. But I would assume that some things she said at the event that we went to makes me think that we need to read them in order.
Yeah. Well, she was hilarious
She
in
was
person.
so funny.
And I cannot wait to dive into this world.
I know and here's the thing. It sounds really silly and fantastical and like, what are you talking about? Liquid glitter? Like what? It is all those things and also like so good.
Yeah.
And that would be, I mean, I'm all for like fantasy and even goofy and like whatever, but she does it so well that like it doesn't even seem silly when you're reading it.
You don't question it. You just go along.
You just go along with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I recommend it. Start with Heart and Mercy if you haven't read that one, and then go to Twyla and Frank. Also, they're older, which I do love.
Yeah. A protagonist later in life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We should do it. Or you should read it. What do you think?
Oh, I reckon I'll read it.
All right.
Yes.
What about you?
So, I am bringing the 15th book in a series. So I can't do a whole lot of
Holy
setup.
moly. Okay. So maybe don't read the blurb.
No, I won't.
Just
But
do your own blurb.
okay. This is A Better Man by Louise Penny. Does Louise Penny ring any bells for you?
Is it mystery?
Yes.
Okay, then maybe.
Okay.
That
Probably-
bell went ding, ding, ding.
Probably because I have gone on rants about this book series because it is one of my favorite.
I think you took me to this section of Full Circle Bookstore in Oklahoma City one time and like showed me all the.
Oh, I probably have. And I definitely have brought these books multiple times to book club as one of the books that I'm reading. Because yeah, I'm up to number 15. Which
That's
I should say
insane.
that was a local indie shout out, Full Circle Books.
Yes.
And in Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
Should also shout out the Megan Bannen talk that we went to was hosted by Best of Books in Edmond,
in Edmond.
Oklahoma. We love
We have
our
some great bookstores here,
love our local indies.
and we will give shout outs to all of them because we love them.
Yes. Okay, A Better Man by Louise Penny. This is number 15 in the Chief Inspector Armand Gamache series or the Three Pine series. If you know it that way. I feel like when I'm talking about it, I say the Three Pine series. But
Okay.
Goodreads calls it the Chief Inspector Armand Gamache series.
It's a mouthful.
It is. And it is Canadian. They live in Quebec, and which is French
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the words and a lot of the names and places in this.
So I need to listen to it.
Oh, definitely listen to it. The Armand Gamache books are a series of mysteries, but they're not thrillers necessarily. And I would almost call them literary mysteries in that they deal with lots of like culture things like art and music and things like that. Like each of these books, there's Armand Gamache, who is the chief inspector of the Sûreté de Quebec, which is like their police academy. And often he is going into this small town called Three Pines. That's like one of the townships that's further out.
Scary.
No, it's lovely.
Oh, okay.
It is absolutely lovely. I want to go to Three Pines if it existed.
Sounds like also the setting of a horror film, but okay.
Well, there are a lot of murders that happen because the chief inspector has to come and investigate. But it's a lovely place. But a lot of times it's like, so in book 1, a local artist is murdered. And so they delve into the art world. And so there's like a lot of art talk along with like the mystery solving. But I have said this before to you and would say it every time. Most of the time, the mystery is not what keeps me reading these books. It's the characters. And when I read book 1, it's called Still Life, I didn't really love it. Okay. I was like, yeah, that was fine. And months later, I picked up book 2. I don't even know why. At this point, I'm like, I don't know why I picked up book 2. I just thought book 1 was okay. And by then I was like, oh, wait a second. It's fun being with these characters again.
Yeah.
And I kept reading, and I will put the first 9 books of this series up against any series of like the best run to like a build, like payoff of like, oh my gosh, it's so good. There's like corruption in the police academy, and is Armand going to be able?
There's a bigger story happening.
Yes. Okay. So each book is a new mystery, but most of the books have the same like characters returning. Every now and then he won't go to Three Pines, he'll go somewhere else because there's a murder somewhere else, but there might be other characters showing up because they're related somehow. And oh my gosh, the best character building, the best. Honestly, like a lot of these books talk about like life. They speak to life and the way that people are and our humanity and like why crimes happen. It's because of a act of emotion, and they're so good. They're so good. So I'm up to book 15, which is A Better Man. Okay. Like I said, book 9 is one of my favorite books of all times.
Okay.
And I was like,
bold statement.
Is it going to be over? Is it done? It kept going. Book 15, this one, A Better Man, was released in 2019. They're up to book 19. That's the one that released most recently.
My gosh. Who's the author again?
Louise Penny.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So good. But they are like a little bit more literary mystery. They're not your typical like popcorn thriller where you're like, there are thrilling things that happen where you're like, are they going to make it out?
Yeah,
But they're just so good. So good. So I cannot wait. I can wait because I fly through these books so fast. Yeah. When I first started, I would read them back to back to back. And now I try to give myself a couple months in between. So like the last book I read, I think was in May. So I think I'm ready for the next one. I'm ready for like my hit of Three Pines. Okay. I forgot to mention, they made it into a TV show called Three Pines. Okay. On Amazon Prime.
I literally was like, this sounds like a show that I've seen.
Have you
I've not watched it, but like I've seen like
the main actor is Alfred Molina. He plays Armand Gamache, who is like one of the best characters in fiction ever. I love him.
Is he better than Poirot?
He's very different from Poirot.
Okay.
Poirot, you know at a distance. Armand Gamache, you know him. Like I want him to be my grandpa or something. He's not old enough to be my grandpa. He's like in his 50s, I think. But okay.
Sorry. The passion in which you said that.
I love him so much.
You guys should have seen her whole body was into that. She was like,
I know him. Okay. Three Pines. I recommend. I don't know anybody in real life that has read these books. And I want to talk to someone about them.
Okay. It doesn't seem intimidating to me content-wise.
Yeah.
It seems intimidating, the number of how many there are.
Oh, and you definitely don't have to read all of them. I would say if you're going to commit, I would
See,
read
I can't do that. If there is a series, I have to read book 1.
I'm going to say this, and I feel like people are going to be really mad at me. You can stop after book 9, which that's still 9 books, but what?
But I can't. Like, because I'll know it's not complete. I think I'm learning a lot about myself on this podcast. Like,
Yeah.
I need completion.
Need some bookish therapy.
But like, I feel like that's something I need to talk to my counselor about.
I am definitely going to read all of them. And
I reckon I'll consider it.
Oh, okay. I like it. Open-ended.
Yeah.
This is a continuing series. Like, book 19 came out last year. Book 20 is coming out. I don't know.
Like this is like a Brandon Sanderson moment where it's like there's.
Well,
so
Sanderson has
many.
like a whole verse, like a universe, or what is it
she's
called?
about to hit 20.
Which-
Cosmere.
Cosmere. I think there's talk in the bookish world that 20 might be the last one, and I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I want a new Armand Gamache book.
Mm.
Always.
Maybe she's tired of him.
Probably. She's written 20 books.
I mean, that's how Conrad felt about Sherlock Holmes.
Conrad?
Isn't it Joseph? Oh gosh.
Isn't that Arthur Conan?
Yes. Conrad is who wrote Heart of Darkness.
No, that was Rudyard Kipling.
Are you sure?
Isn't it?
I don't think so.
Oh, then I misspoke.
Okay, hold on. Is that a fact check that we have to do?
Correction.
Was that in the last one?
Yeah, that was episode
Okay,
1.
Joseph Conrad wrote Heart of Darkness.
Oh.
I
I
agreed
Rudyard
with-
Kipling right.
I agreed with you when you said Kipling, though. Okay, hold on. Kipling.
Correction. I felt real smart. Like, by Kipling.
I'm really glad that we found that out, though, because that would have been super embarrassing. Let's see.
Rudyard Kipling wrote things set in a
Okay, let's
similar
see.
place, right?
Oh, he wrote The Jungle Book.
But didn't he also write like racist things
Oh, I'm sure.
of its time?
Of its time. Oh, he wrote Rikki-Tikki-Tavi.
Don't know that one.
Oh, wow. That is actually great. I actually don't know. Why was he controversial?
I apologize to Rudyard Kipling if I am letting out some strong opinions of which I know nothing.
Yeah, sorry. Conrad, though, is
Oh yeah, that
The Heart
was
of
still super,
Darkness.
super bad.
super bad. But yes, Conan Doyle. I'm an English teacher, I promise. He was so tired of writing Sherlock Holmes.
Is that why?
that he
Yeah.
kills him at the end?
Shh. Spoiler.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, that's
I feel like
also
some
one-
things are so dated if I spoil.
That's true. That's that's
I mean,
fair.
Rockin' like Falls, like that's okay.
And then there's been like TV shows and movies, and yeah, I feel you're probably safe there.
But I mean, also like there's always like the return of Holmes. So like, is he? Is he not? Is he dead? Is he not dead?
If you are upset with spoilers, address them to Beccah in the DMs.
Yes. If you are upset about someone's hate for Kipling, address them in the DMs with Summer.
Send them to me. I'll apologize.
Oh, that's so funny. I 100% agreed with you though when you said it. I was like, yeah, Kipling.
I need to go research and look into that because
I don't think his was a. I mean, because of the time, I'm sure it was like a little.
it probably doesn't hold up.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Jungle Book.
I will go and inform myself after I speak publicly on it on a podcast. Okay, so
That's
that
amazing.
rounds out our reading roundup.
Yes.
Next, we are going to go into some more of those this or that questions.
Because we didn't finish them all in
Mm-mm.
episode 1. So we will pick back up
With some strong opinions.
with some strong opinions.
Borrow from the library or buy and hoard.
Both. I buy and hoard. I am definitely like a buy first and hope I read it. Not
Really?
I read it from the library and like love it and go buy it. Like
Yeah.
I definitely have the bad habit of just going and buying it. But I also Libby the same book a lot of times so I can read it on the go
I do that
or
too.
I can do the audiobook on
I
the
do
go.
that too.
So
Yeah.
I kind of do both.
I am 100% a library girly. Like I keep
And that's why she's financially more responsible than
in this one area. I will say though, as we do more with local bookstores, I feel like I'm buying so many more books, and it's like starting to make me a little bit nervous because I'm like, I don't have space for all of these books. First of all,
That's what she's thinking. I'm thinking like, I hope my husband doesn't find out.
well, yeah, I don't have a husband to answer to.
That's funny.
But I also want to like patron my local indies, and if there's an author event, yeah, I want to buy the book so the author can
100%.
sign it. But I'm a library girly. Okay, we've kind of talked about this already, but just rapid fire. Read the book or listen to the audiobook.
Both.
I'm also both.
Yeah. Audiobook during the day when I'm being active. I want hard copy though when I'm like at home, like sitting down.
I think I enjoy the book better when I read it in like paper, but yeah, I need the audiobook. Also, lately I've been doing the same book in multiple formats. So like when I'm in my car and then when I'm at home, I'm listening to the same book, especially if it's one that I'm like, oh, I can't give it up. Yeah. I don't want to switch to another one.
Okay. Morning reader or late night reader?
Both. And I typically like nonfiction in the morning.
Because you're awake. It would put me to sleep at night.
Oh, maybe. But like when I walk my dog in the morning, I love a nonfiction something. I don't know why nonfiction feels like morning time to me.
I'm definitely a late night reader.
Yeah.
Like I will read in the morning or the day if I had time. But for the most part, it's like at 4 a.m. when I should have been asleep 6 hours before.
Yeah.
Okay. New releases or backlist gems?
I get drawn into the shiny new releases too often, I think. Because I feel like a lot of times I'm reading books because other people are talking about them and I have like FOMO. Yeah. But I don't know that I always enjoy them the most. I feel like backlist, if there's some reason that a book is calling to me from back then, it has some staying power and I typically enjoy it more.
I think that could be something we challenge each other with.
Yeah.
Like, okay, your next TBR has to be
prior to this publication date.
Has to be a backlist.
That's fun.
Okay. Physical copy or Kindle, which I feel like we've kind of touched on this a little bit.
When I buy books, I buy a physical and I like use my Kindle exclusively for the library.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would never probably purchase a book on Kindle just because I feel like I don't really own it, even though I do. But it doesn't.
Well, you may not because there's all kinds of things with Amazon and they can have the rights. And
that is true. So I definitely purchase the physical.
Yeah.
But I will read on a Kindle all day. That doesn't bother me.
I will say, if you are a purchaser of ebooks, there are now more options than just Amazon. You can do, is it like bookshop.org that is now selling ebook like files that you can purchase if you don't want to be an Amazon supporter. So there are other options.
Interesting.
Let's see. Pre-order or wait for the hype to die down.
I wouldn't say that it's a hype to die down thing, but I don't typically pre-order. Unless it is something that I'm afraid will be sold out super quickly. Like when the ACOTAR book drops, like I'll pre-order it because I want to get it the day it's released. I don't want to have to stand in line. Yeah. I'm past that time in my life that I want to go do like a midnight like release. Like I just want to pre-order it and it be there.
I did go to the midnight release for Onyx Storm and it was...
Like I would still do it.
It was late, but it was fun.
Yeah.
So I think anytime I've pre-ordered a book, it has been a situation like that where it's like a big book that's coming and then I get a little disappointed because it's not like you get it on the day that it's released. A lot of times you get it days later because of shipping and things like that. I mean, maybe if you can pre-order it and then pick it up in store, I think that is probably the best option for me. And I know authors and publishers really want you to pre-order because that gives them a lot of data that goes into the New York Times bestselling list.
Yeah. Well, they also know how many copies to buy and things like that.
Yeah, and it helps drive like the world around like, oh, there's a lot of buzz for this book if there's a pre-order. So I know authors specifically want us to pre-order books. Yeah. I think that might be my best option is pre-order to pick up in my like local indie.
But only on like a big release that I know there's going to be these massive amounts of people trying to buy it. Yeah. If it's
Which is funny because you'll pre-order it, but you won't read it because you don't want to read books that everybody else is reading.
Okay, you don't have to come at me like that. She's not wrong. If there's a big hype,
because I want to talk to you about books and you won't read them.
If there's a big hype about a book, like it just kind of makes me like, ugh, I don't want to be like everybody else. But if I'm already in a series, like
Yeah.
the ACOTAR, like I will get it the second it comes out, and I will probably start it the day I read it. Like I will
Okay.
have no books in my like realm when that book comes.
That's the only one in your eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Reread favorites are always something new.
Usually always something new. But when I do reread a favorite, it's such a good experience. I reread The Scarlet Pimpernel this year because you picked it up, and that's one of my favorites. I don't often reread, but when I do, it's because it's like one of my heart books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am definitely a rereader.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I love to reread a book. A lot of people are like, well, I mean, like I've already read it once, so you know, it's not going to be the same. And I'm like, no, I feel like it's better. Like, I don't know. Like, I love rereading. I wouldn't reread a book that I thought was kind of mid. Like, if that makes sense. Like, it has to be something that I loved. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a heart book for me. But if it's like, oh, that was fun. I mean, like, you know this, but like every spooky season, like, I'm going to read XX and Kiss Curse and all those. And I've read them for like 5 years at this point, like every year. Yeah. And so some of those are just like seasonal rereads, but I'll also just pick up a good like, I remember that book just made me, I remember like the feeling. And sometimes when I'm like needing that emotion, like I'll pick up a book that took me there.
I feel that. For a while there, I would reread Pride and Prejudice every fall, like as soon as the academic year started, because it felt like the time. And that's when I first read it.
The time.
Well, it's always the time, yes. But that was when I first read it. And so I reread it every year at that time because I wanted that feeling back.
I love that. I do that to Persuasion a lot with Austen.
Really?
I reread Persuasion quite often. I really like it.
Okay, tea or coffee while reading?
Both.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Read on the porch or curled up inside.
Also both, depending on weather.
Yeah, depending on weather or bugs.
Oh,
I prefer to be like kind of like chilly with a blanket and a cup of coffee. Rainy days are my preferred.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
skip to the ending or stay patient.
you're about to hate me probably.
Do you skip to the ending?
I skip all the time in books.
What?
Sometimes I will skip to the end and spoil it for myself so I know because it's giving me too much like anxiety.
Okay, I get that.
Or if like I want to go to bed, but I know I'm not going to go to bed till they like, you know, hook up. I will just like go read that scene and then go to bed and then go back the next day and read it after
and then
that
you
scene.
go back?
Yeah, I mean, I read the whole book.
And it doesn't like mess up the tension for you?
No, because I mean, here's the thing. I knew that they were going to get that to that point anyways.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I will say there are many times that I'm reading a book and once that happens, I'm less interested after.
That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it's the only thing. Like the tension is so much that you're like, I have to get to the point where they like admit they have feelings, and it's almost ruining the rest of like the book for me because I can't be patient.
Okay.
And so I just go read that scene to get it out of my system, and then I'll go back and just read the book.
Will that impact your star rating afterwards? You're like, oh, it took too long. It's gonna be a star off.
Not really.
Wow.
Because I think it's because the same way spoilers don't bother me. I'm also will be reading a page and flip to the next page and then go back and finish the page I'm on.
Why?
Because I really just want to know how that ends.
Oh, see, I don't flip pages, but my eyes will automatically go down. And I have to tell myself, like, no, read the words, Summer.
So you don't ever go and read like the first line of a book and the last line of a book?
Never.
I need to be very careful. I'm learning like what not to, because here's the thing. Sometimes when I like will tell someone about a book, they're not spoilers to me.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm like, they're so obvious.
That's going to be something that we will have to be careful for with the podcast.
Yeah.
There have been times that I've gone to like flip through to see what the last page is to know like how many pages I have left. And then I read something and I'm devastated.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting.
No, I'm definitely a skip around person.
Okay.
Especially if it's just ruining the rest of the book because I'm just ready for them to like get together. Or but if I know it's like this is such a slow burn and it's not going to happen until about 80% in, then I'm like, okay, I can just be patient until about 80% in. But if it's like, if I don't know.
I do like the 60% mark.
Yeah, it's better for me.
Yeah. I think if I have to wait till the 80% mark, then like I will enjoy the book less and rate it lower.
That's what I'm saying. So,
But I won't skip ahead.
maybe you should.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should skim.
Next time you're getting so like caught up in like when is it going to happen, just go and read it and then come back. Because it's going to be just as good the next time you read it. Because then it's just like a reread.
You're also more of a rereader than I am. This is so interesting. I've learned so much about you today, Beccah.
I know. That is something that drives people crazy about me, though. Like, I 100% will go read the end of a book and not bother me.
I will go back and reread certain scenes in books.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I think I told you about this book before, but there is a Renaissance romance called Well Met by Jen DeLuca. I've talked about this book before. I don't know if you remember.
Let me look this cover up.
It was one of the first like contemporary romances that I read back when I was getting back into reading, back probably 2019, maybe 2020. I don't remember when it released. But I will go back and reread certain scenes out of that book because they were just so like delicious and fun. But I won't reread the whole book. But I'll go back and reread a scene.
Okay, I've definitely seen the cover. I have not read it though. So should I read it?
Yeah.
Do
you like Renaissance fairs?
Yes.
Then yes, you should read it.
That may have been the nerdy thing that just lost a lot of people.
The Renaissance fairs did it.
It did it.
Nothing else.
Yeah, there was nothing else that we said
that was
in this
so
podcast.
Nerdy. So that was fun. I learned a lot about you, Beccah.
I learned a lot about you too.
Things that, we have talked so much about books over the last 2.5 years. And yet there's still all those things. I mean, I feel like I learned about myself too.
Yeah.
I don't really reflect a lot on some of these bookish habits that I have.
That's it. Because it's like, I know some of these things about myself, but I don't always think they're weird until I tell somebody else. Like the whole like, oh yeah, I skip to the end all the time. Like that's shocking to some people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, is it? It feels so normal to me.
So guys, thank you so much for listening to all of our bookish talk. If you have any strong opinions, like we have teased, we've had some strong opinions. Let us know your thoughts on them. Send them to us in our DMs.
Yep. Or if there's anything you want us to talk about, any books you want us to give you our hot takes on.
Yeah. If you want to add books to our TBRs, where can they find us, Beccah?
On Instagram at I Reckon I'll Read It.
We're going to cut and run, but it has been so fun talking books with you guys. We will see you for our next episode in 2 weeks.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
And then we'll see you guys. I don't know why I'm ending it.
We're not ready to end it.
We're not ready to end it.
Let's make our transition.